Hey guys, welcome to this week's Family Hour. We are here with Paul, our special co-host. Paul, thank you so much for joining us yet again. And today we have a special guest, Rob Madrigal. If you don't know, he's bassist for Death by Stereo, also on the March edition of Bassists Against Racists. Rob, thank you so much for coming on. It's awesome to have you.
Hey, thanks for having me.
And Paul, how's it going with you? How's the designing going? If anything you want to share with the group? I don't know. I'm listening.
What in regards to Bassists Against Racists things, or just in general?
Just in general. What are you up to?
Just in general, I've been doing things, but it's been, I don't know what the news has been like over there, of what's been happening over here, but it's been quite a tiring week with regards to the news. So I've not had a lot of energy to do much. But yeah, I was introduced to the next person for the shirts this week. So I'm starting to kind of get into talks with them to start drawing that, which is exciting. But yeah, always trying to draw things, but I've also got an Xbox, so that sometimes kind of takes my attention.
Rob, you are on the March design of Bassists Against Racists. You know, your shirt actually has been my favorite one so far, not gonna lie. I actually love the design. Can you kind of tell us why you joined into this for this one?
Actually, like I think we said before, perhaps. I've been following the whole thing, you know, when the whole shirt came out, and I was like, oh man, dude, that'd be cool to be on that immediately. Like, of course, because it's like, oh, that's cool, fucking bases, you know, do the thing. And anyways, Lynn had asked me if I'd be into doing it. I was like, yeah, of course, you know. And it's an honor. It's fucking cool as shit, and we get to help people. And to get to help people, you know, we're obviously can't tour or anything, so it's like just being able to even just use our music, our capabilities to do something.
Now, you're not racing necessarily for the BLM movement. You're actually racing for our friends down in Texas who right now really, really need it.
Well, yeah, and well, we're still in the BLM movement as well. Obviously, still all the same stuff, but we just added the Texas. That, you know, I just thought that since, you know, considering the circumstances that everyone was going through down there, that we could just do what we can to help out, you know. Just do what we can to help out.
Yeah, I haven't seen the numbers, but I did speak to Gabby, and she says they're going great. They're kind of flying off the racks, so that's great news.
Hell yeah!
Anytime we can help anybody, right? Like,
of course.
Anytime, you know, I always say that the punk community is the best community because we'd be probably the first ones. Might have some misconceptions and not think that we're helpful or as helpful as we are, but I have yet to come across a punk to be like, no, I'm not going to help you out. Go fuck yourself. Never happened. It's never happened. You know, and I think that's a huge testament to this community and what we are all able to achieve. You know, I'm not a bassist. I can't play, but I can promote it. You're a bassist. You can play, and you actually have the talent and the time. And Paul, an artiste. You know, again, this is it's actually done much differently than the rest of them because this one, I can't say it has legs. Oh, there's more. So.
How about, there's Mikey.
So you guys practicing right now? No, we lost him.
He's frozen.
Yeah. Cool stuff coming up. Oh, me?
No, you're good. You're good.
You're good now.
Am I good now?
You again.
Okay. Did I froze?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, we have some cool stuff coming up, so we're just you know, getting everything locked in. So I was up, and forgive me, I was up till about 7 actually rehearsing everything so I can be on point when everybody gets in here. So I'm a little beat up, but hey, what are you gonna do?
Now, Paul, when you design Rob's shirt, it's different than the rest. Rob doesn't have any legs in his design. Was that kind of the plan with it? Because I did see the original picture. It looks like Rob's having one hell of a great time during that show.
Oh, yeah.
You know, can you talk about how that came about?
see the image. There's a lot of people in the crowd all around him, and it's, I don't know. It just seemed a bit strange to be drawing random showgoers like around him. So there was no legs to speak of, and I tried my best to recreate them using a photo that I'd taken from a show. So it was almost, the top half was Rob and the bottom half was Gibbs from the Barstool Preachers. But Gibbs is a slightly less buff gentleman. So he looked like Robert.
Hey, we can just say it for what it is. It's all good. He's a handsome bloke.
Husky.
Oh boy, but he's not as.
So it's the first shirt that hasn't got like the full kind of body.
Well, we were going to put the Arnold legs on there, but that didn't work out.
No, we were talking about like a whiskey bottle, and then him coming out like a genie.
I'd been great.
Yeah. So it was good, and it was good to have a reference photo that wasn't just somebody playing. I think you sent me about 9 different photos, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
And then that one stuck out because of him drinking the beer, I assume it was. But it just looked so cool. I just wanted to be able to draw the. Oh, was it?
Yeah.
But I snuck my Zombie Teeth logo onto the beer
He's
can.
awesome.
So if you look at the design, it's got my logo on the beer can.
As it should.
But yeah, so it was a fun one to do, and it was the first one I did with my new iPad that I bought. So I moved over. I upgraded from an Android to an iPad. So it was the first attempt at something on a new system. So it turned out pretty good, and I'm pretty happy with it. And then we've just got to see if I can continue that trend of doing okay with it.
Yeah, I always like when people grab action shots, like it's great when they're playing and stuff, but to catch them on stage when they're surrounded by other people and just those little tiny nuances, because I think that's what really caught my eye, was that you weren't necessarily playing, but you could tell you were in your element, so to speak.
Oh yeah, dude. I can see that show, like kind of replaying in my head, and I don't even know what exact effort might have been saying something, or who knows? Why not? And it actually was the last. It forever immortalized my hair, which I cut off. So
yes, oh my God, yes, I know. That was the first thing I noticed right now. Was the last time I saw you, your hair kind of looked like mine.
Yeah,
just long and curly. I think your curls are even just better than mine. Mine are.
Oh, dude, it was time. It was time.
Yeah,
but it's all good. It'll grow back.
Great,
Oh, well, try.
I think you're for a shorter hairstyle, so it looks good on you. You really you cleaned up nice. You know?
Now I look like a baker or something. Why did I go?
Now I can hear the guys rehearsing. So what are you guys just practicing? Have you practiced throughout all COVID, or is it just kind of you guys are back in the swing of things? California is a different place when it comes to this. So
what we were really concerned with is we have parents that are older and grandparents and things like that. So we actually all really stayed away from each other throughout the whole thing and really did our best to social distance and do our part, do our due diligence. And we made, just make it now that some of our parents, especially like we're saying, the older ones have gotten the vaccine. Now we're kind of taking a little bit more freely, but still wearing the mask and stuff in there. And, like I said, just doing our part.
Yeah.
Doing our best.
We actually shot an interview with Ephraim right before you guys released your album that came out in 2020, and also right before you guys released your music video. You guys still released it with, the potential of not being able to go to shows. And how's that been? Like, because I haven't had a chance to speak to a band who's actually, it's almost been a year. I won't say quite a year because it's in another few months, but I'm going to say 9 months since you guys did release it. How has it been for you guys? You guys feel like you've had the same kind of, engagement from people about it, or because
You know
I
what?
heard it, I loved it.
Thank
I
you.
played it.
This is actually my first full length that I'm a part of. Dude, we've heard some great feedback from it. I'm stoked on it. Again, we weren't out there to push it, but I think considering the circumstances, everybody was home and got to listen to it. So, hopefully we can come back and just kind of like almost like reset it. Like, oh, it's happening again, or come out with something new, which may be happening.
Ooh,
I don't know. We'll see. Yeah.
In the backgrounds of hearing some new shit, because I'm totally
Yeah.
Super
You never know. Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah. We're but getting back into the groove of things, and hopefully getting prepared for. Hopefully at the end of the year things start happening. I'm not as much as I want to be on stage. I want to do shows and see all my friends everywhere and stuff. But I think the main concern, even with us, is make sure everybody's safe. That's really it. It'd be silly to just be like, it'd almost be selfish, I think, to throw a show and then everybody gets sick and then what?
Yeah. I don't know if you know this about us, but we're throwing a camp in September called Camp Pennsylvania. And, that's always been a concern from day one was, are we going to be making people fucking sick? Are we going to be like, we canceled it last year because obviously COVID was just raging. Still technically raging. Last time I saw in the States was 50,000 cases per day. But people are getting vaccinated, so hospitalizations, things like that, those rates are slowly just shrinking and shit. And we kind of always have to ask ourselves is, at what point do we let this go and say we have to pull the plug, or do we just let it go? Or are people like, we're kind of always watching numbers. Like tickets went out today, so we're shooting this on a Saturday. Today is the first day for ticket sales, and I've been pacing this fucking house like crazy.
Yeah, I think it's up to everybody just to make sure you're not sick and don't be sick.
Yeah.
Don't be like, if you're sick, just stay home. It's all good. There'll be another show.
Yeah.
There'll be another thing. There's just potential just because of how fast this particular thing spreads. And that was the whole thing behind it. It was slow the spread. Wasn't saying end this, obviously we'd like to end it, but everybody kind of knew it was going to spread. But it was slow it down so everybody can catch up and we can, the hospitals and things could handle it.
Yeah, because you're in California and you may have to pardon my Canadian ignorance on certain matters. But there's been a lot of videos coming out of California just to show that not necessarily everybody has been behind.
Yeah. And
it's refreshing to hear when you talk to say, like, I'm keeping my family away from me. I'm keeping my fans away from me, because a lot of what I'm seeing is not necessarily the case.
No, I've done my best, and I'm not no angel by any means. I've definitely gone out and then just kind of caught myself, like, you're kind of caught in the moment, like, oh man, I haven't gone out in fucking 6 months or 7 months, and then you kind of find yourself getting into I guess you'd call it old habit of just being our actual normal, whatever that is. But then I was like, oh shit, throw on the mask, hand sanitize, like really get it all together. So I think it's just, people are just, I don't know. Actually, you know what? I can't speak for anybody. I can only speak for myself and my friends. And I think we're all doing our best. Like I said, we really just did everything that we felt that we could do. It's a tough situation. I don't hate anybody or upset with anybody or anything like that. Like, the only thing I could say is just do your best. Don't be a dick.
Yeah, be
really it. Yeah, be cool.
Yeah, be cool. Because, Paul, you are probably in one of the countries where this shit's been the strictest. The UK is, when they mean lockdown, they fucking meant lock down. You could not. I follow this guy out in the UK. His name's CGP Gray, and he actually went through the city of London and like shot himself on the bike, and like it was dead. Wow. Like, he had to lock down pretty good, but this was dead. And you guys still in lockdown right now?
We are, but they've changed the rules. The beginning of the 8th of March, schools and colleges went back. So people weren't homeschooling anymore, and then certain stores were allowed to open again, but things non-essential stores like like clothing stores and like the kind of charity shops and hairdressers, things like that. They're all closed. And then I think in a couple of weeks, more things can open, and then in a couple of weeks, and then if the cases start going up, they'll just shut it back down again. But it doesn't stop people just going out and doing their own thing. But like no bars are open, no restaurants are open, like cinemas aren't open, no clubs, no hospitality unless it's takeaway food. So everyone's kind of counting the days until the bars open, which it doesn't really bother me too much. I can give or take. Well, I don't even do that really, but it's just being able to go out, without, because at the moment you're only allowed to go out and meet with one person, and then the rules all get easier where you're allowed to meet up to 6 people, but you've still got to be outside. You're not allowed in other people's houses or anything at the moment. So yeah, it's been a bit crazy, but where I sit, I can see out onto a busy street and there's just so many people every single day. It's just just go home.
Yeah, it's human nature. We're human. We love people. I think the biggest thing I've missed through all of this is hugs. I just want to fucking hug somebody. Somebody that's not like, I'm always hugging, right? Like I just want a pit hug. I want some sweaty, stinky dude to just fucking wrap his arms around me and just chuck me back in there. I want to smell some armpits. I want fucking not be able to hear anything when I come out except for for the next 3 days. I miss it.
That's every day for me.
I miss it. It's been so, and it's crazy because we never thought this was going to go on for a year. Mm-hmm. We're approaching its anniversary of Canada's lockdown in 2 days. So happy birthday.
Oh yeah.
But,
yeah. I don't remember
ours.
I was going to say, a year ago today was the release of the Bomb Pops album, which they released the day that everything went into lockdown, and now it's the anniversary of that album coming out, and we're still in lockdown. So they've had a full year. Is
the DBS, are you guys strictly like touring band? Have you guys been able to work throughout this? Have you guys been able to like make other income on the side from not playing shows, or is this strictly you guys like this is business and
Well, for I worked for Ed from Zebrahead, actually, the drummer of Zebrahead. He owns a case company called Get Off My Case, and it's actually down the street. Oh. And so I worked for him for a long time. I've always had jobs, just if I was an Uber driver for a bit for like 3-4 years, I think, in between tours, But last year was going to be so packed full of touring. I was like, fucking rad, dude. It's cool. And then obviously, what happened. And so, yeah, just kind of just getting by.
Yeah. How are venues doing where you guys are? Because
there's definitely there's some things closing down, but then there's some things adapting, like turning, if they had a bar, if they had a kitchen, they're restarting the kitchen, turning it into so you can eat. Because here, if you have food, you can, or whatever the rule is. I just know if you have food, you can come inside and eat. So that changes the game for a lot of people. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, I see a lot of this, we've lost a couple, but then at the same time, I think, some people, like I said, a lot of them have adapted and just hopefully continue adapting and grow and be successful. We need the independent venues.
We do. NEVA just got their $1.5 million relief coming up to them. I'm hoping to see where this goes. And yeah, if you guys don't know what NEVA, which is the independent venue for stage independent artists, make sure you go and donate, because that helps independent venues stay open during this time that they can't. It's always heartbreaking to hear when anything has to close and shit. And we always say it on our shows, make sure you support your artists, make sure you go and buy their merch and stuff like that. If you're home and you are able to do it, help them, because I look often at touring bands. Pairs always comes to mind, is that they released March 6th, and then the world shut down, and they were strictly a touring band. Like that's that's tough. And you guys, I'm sure, were also very close to Strictly Touring Band. Like,
Oh yeah.
that shit is tough. And I hope that people have been out of support. You guys did put out a couple vinyls, or a vinyl of your last album.
Yeah.
With a gorgeous variant to it. So,
There's some cool ones. The green one's my favorite one.
yeah,
That was
that's the one
rad.
I was thinking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, totally awesome. I love that whole color. And your video too, the one behind the screens.
That was in my backyard.
Was it
Actually,
really? Did you? I meant to ask. Did you guys shoot that in different chunks and then just kind of superimposed? No.
I actually It was kind of a. I had something similar idea to that, and I asked the guys. I'm like, hey, so I basically photoshopped myself a bunch of. I built one, and I shot myself a bunch of times. I'm like, hey, is this cool? And they're like, yeah. So a friend of mine, we built it, put the plastic up, and just kind of went for it. It was so had to just straight out the gate, just hash it. No plan really.
No, it looks awesome. And like, we had talked to Ephraim right before you guys released that album, and he said it'd be something different. Nobody's seen something like this before. And he was right. I was actually quite shocked at how awesome that was. I didn't know if everybody was superimposed, though. I was like, kind of like, oh, that's.
Oh, we're not that fancy. That's one shot. That's one shot of all of us there. Dude, I'm like, oh man, we had our $1 billion budget. We had the guy who did some fucking. We're not fancy. We get by, handle business.
And you have to, right? Like, this is just kind of scrimp and save and fucking make sure. Now, are you guys starting to hear any inklings of potential people trying to do some bookings with you guys, or are you guys kind of just starting to? Because we can. I book for a camp, so I'm starting to hear.
I'm starting to hear some stuff, and I'm just, with the whole thing, I'm just going with the flow. I'm not rushing it. Hey, if it can get done correctly, it can get done. Cool. If it can't, it can't. It's everybody should be understanding. I think at this point.
Absolutely.
We're all in the same. We're all eating the same shit sandwich. Excuse the expression. It's just, it is what it is. So, I hope that the vaccines roll out, or whatever the case may be, just the cases start dropping and people start getting healthy, and then we can all start getting back to somewhat of a normal thing. But, I'm not in a rush, personally. I know we just want to make sure everybody's cool, everybody's safe, so we can go fucking raise hell and take shots and drink beers, go fucking nuts and have fun at shows. But, if I have to wait another 6-7 months for it, it's what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah, we got a lifetime together.
Exactly. It's like I said, that's why we canceled, because we said, for 3 days, and we can't see you guys for the next 30 years. We'd rather see you guys for the next 30 years than the next 3 days.
Exactly.
It's just, it makes perfect sense. Like, I'm not out to fucking hurt people. I don't want to see any of my friends and those I love sick. I haven't seen anybody in a year for a reason. It's, we're not doing this for nothing. And I hope if you're out there and you're listening, you're trying to do the right steps to ensure that that's happening. I'm counting down the days till they call me for vaccination day, because I will fucking run and I will let them shoot it wherever they need to do.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for mine. But
speaking of, I don't want to cut it short, but I do have to get to rehearsal.
For sure.
Cool? All right.
All right.
Mask up.
Put your mask on.
Yes.
And thank you again so much for taking time to talk to us. We really appreciate it. And yeah, make sure if you guys are looking for Bassists Against Racists, you guys can find it on chaosmerch.com. If you guys want to check out that stereo, make sure they
get the shirt.
In the shirt.
Get the shirt. Get my hair. My hair is forever immortalized. And you're helping out great causes.
Exactly. So again, a huge thank you, and we will see you guys next week.
Absolutely. Bye.